We're kind of taught in society that looks shouldn't matter. It's what's inside that counts. Caring about your appearance is very vain, that you shouldn't care about how you look, you shouldn't care about how others look. The truth is that that rhetoric ignores a big part of our biology and how we're wired, and it doesn't work. We still care about how we look, we still care about how other people look, we care about presentation, and we judge others very quickly, almost immediately upon seeing them, and we categorize them into different categories regardless, because this is not discrimination that we're talking about. It's just that we are very visual creatures, and we look at things and we make assumptions about them, or we make judgments, and they're often like pretty true. Looks really do matter, and if you feel kind of overwhelmed by this fact, you don't really love how you look, you don't love how you show up, you need to just let all of that go, at least for a bit, and understand that your looks really do matter. And it's not just like pretty, not pretty, whatever. It's your presentation of self, and that includes your posture, how you speak, how much space you take up when you're speaking. Do you allow yourself to move your hands, or do you just kind of like stay right here? Like your tone of voice, how fast you speak, how slow you speak, so your cadence, all of these things play into how you're judged and categorized in the world. And truth is that you do that to other people too. You look at certain characteristics that someone may have, and you may place them above yourself. You may think, oh well, they have executive presence, even if you're not thinking these things consciously. They're more confident, they have more money, they have more like status, they know more things, they have more knowledge, just based on like how you're seeing they present themselves, how they carry about themselves, how they communicate. So you do it too, right? And people are doing it to you, and your looks and how you present yourself, how you show up, how you move through the world, that has a massive impact on every facet of your life. As unfair as it might be, it is just, that's what it is. And as a woman, if you're a woman watching this, wonderful, then I want to teach you, and anyone really, how to maximize your looks as much as possible. Accept this and just take advantage of it. When you become someone who society deems as valuable and beautiful and acceptable, you can expect to get a lot more attention. Sometimes this isn't as wanted, but it kind of comes with the territory. You're gonna be able to get more help and support from strangers and from those who are close to you, more respect, more social capital, more chance encounters with strangers where you like meet friends, or you meet like a potential soulmate, you meet a potential business partner. You're gonna have a lot more chance encounters with people. You're gonna get into more doors are gonna open for you, and then it gives you the opportunity now to use your personality and your intellect to shine, and for you to be able to succeed. I used to be a very awkward little someone, and I was very afraid of all kinds of any and all social interactions. I wanted to be as quiet and as small, as invisible as possible, and I kind of took pride in the fact of like, well, I don't take care of my appearance, and I like don't pay attention and time and put effort into that, and I had really low self-esteem. I didn't want attention, I didn't want to be seen, I didn't want to be anybody to say that I was vain, and I wanted validation all the time. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. I was very much a people pleasing, and I didn't want to like try to be seen as someone who is beautiful and then people not see me that way. So I thought it was better that I just don't try at all. And fast forward now, as I've matured quite a bit, I see the value in society judging you and putting you in a certain box, and not in a way that you allow that to consume your life and consume everything and that looks at everything, but just not ignoring that as a big and important facet of social life either. Oftentimes people go one extreme to the next, and you don't have to, right? You can realize that looks are not everything, and that it's not going to get me my perfect dream life. However, it is going to get me access to certain opportunities if I look a certain way and I present myself a certain way, and I work on how I communicate, my tone of voice, my posture, things like that. Also knowing that your intellect, your personality, and what's inside is what makes you special and what makes you stand out, and therefore not ignoring that either, and becoming a whole person who is valuable and has value, because you focus on both the inner and the outer, because both of them have a place and they're both judged. Being conventionally attractive and valued is accessible. It does take more effort for some people than others, but that's how it is with like any skill. If we both had to learn the guitar, you might be a lot better at it than I am, or you might learn it quicker because you have more dexterity in your fingers, you might have learned another instrument before, or you're just better. It's the same thing with taking care of your appearance and like looking put together and presentable. It's a skill, and some of us get it more naturally, and some of us it's harder, but it's accessible to you. It's a skill just like any other. It's not a matter of they were born a certain way and I was born a certain way, and I'll never be able to look like that, or I'll never be able to be treated that way. That's not the case whatsoever. It is a skill, and you have to reframe it as such, and it pays dividends just like any other skill. For example, it's very similar to the skill of public speaking. Some people have it more naturally, some people don't, but that is a skill that pays very high dividends. And in the same way, being able to present yourself as someone who has value, and that's all the pretty privilege is that I'm speaking about, that is a skill that has a lot of value and it pays dividends. How to actually do it and how it's going to change your life. The markers of beauty in society are really markers of health, well-being, of youth, of vitality. Honestly, biologically, a lot of this dates back to survival of the species. So the things that we look at, like healthy hair, long hair, clear skin, healthy skin, smooth skin, like clean teeth, good hygiene, the waist to hip ratio, been tested across time and across cultures also, that for women your waist is 70% of your hips, and then for men waist is 70% of your shoulders, and that is like a golden ratio of like attractiveness, and it's based on fertility for women to be able to like bear children, and then for men being able to like lift and move things around, etc. So we don't need to go into like the full biology history lesson. Markers of beauty are just markers of health and well-being, and if you are able to take care of yourself, engage in self-care, and spend the time and effort that is required to be someone who is healthy, vibrant, energized, then you are going to tick a lot of those marks in terms of beauty already. That is something that's very accessible to everyone, and the truth is, you know that I believe that you should be taking care of your health consistently as just a practice that you do for yourself any which way. You can have like clean, white, healthy teeth. You can have like clear or mostly clear skin by taking care of it, doing your skincare routine. You can grow your hair, like I have, grow it longer. My hair used to be like this length. You can just buy hair extensions, but taking care of your hair so that what you do have is healthy. And it doesn't have to be long hair either. You can take care of your nails and keep them presentable, whether that's just like keeping them short, natural, a little bit of clear polish, whether you're doing your nails like I am. It's accessible to you to do all of these things that make sure you're taking care of yourself. You can go to the gym or like work out at home. I work out at home personally. You can like walk or run, make sure and do cardio. You can play sports. You can eat really well, like eat whole foods. You can go to the grocery or go to your farmer's market. You can meal prep, you can meal plan, you can focus on like whole ingredients. And again, these things are more accessible to others than some. Another big part of it is your posture, right? Your posture, your mannerisms, all of your non-verbal communication. So are you taking up space, your tone of voice, your cadence of speaking, the things that you say, also the words that you use, the vocabulary, your syntax, all of those are part of your appearance and your looks and how you're judged. And again, it's not who has like the biggest, fanciest degree or whatnot, but are you someone who values yourself based on all of those nonverbal communications? And you can learn all of those things, and that's something that I'm personally working on, because I want to be able to like take up more space if I'm not thinking about it, or before I started working on these things, I used to be very, very soft-spoken. Even though I was very articulate in terms of my vocabulary and having knowledge on different topics and being able to communicate that, I would be so soft-spoken, and my posture would be very vague. Nobody's listening to me. You know, like I didn't even trust what I was saying and trust myself to like lead a presentation, to public speak, to communicate. So that is something that I had to break out of and work on. And I still feel like I'm kind of soft-spoken, but there's more authority, trust behind what I'm saying, because I believe what I'm saying and I believe that I deserve to say something, you know, and to like take up that space. Your nonverbal communication, what does it say about you, about how you feel about yourself, and therefore can other people trust you? Do you believe what you're saying? Is what you're saying believable? What is your posture like? How much space are you taking up? These are like specific skills that are gonna pay dividends, not just in this case, but also for like your public speaking, in your career, at school, at work, in your side hustle, everything. Okay, you need to learn to have that kind of like executive presence where you have confidence internally, you have self-respect, you value yourself, and that allows other people to value you too. The third pillar is just cleanliness, hygiene, and symmetry. Humans love, when I say symmetry, I mean in terms of things that flow and are pleasing to the eye. So for example, like monochromatic outfits, right? They look a certain like put together way, not because they are like this clean girl, old money, aesthetic, neutrals, whatever. It's because like our eyes kind of like relax a little bit when we see like that flow of an outfit where it's monochromatic. And we see that in nature too, like when you look at a big expanse of the ocean and it's just blue everywhere, or green mountains, or like there's a certain calm that we feel visually when we kind of see those things that flow and are symmetrical, right? And you can incorporate that too in the silhouettes that you choose, if they flatter and flow with whatever body shape that you have, the colors that you choose, if they suit your skin tone and the vibe that you're trying to put on. And then also a big hack for me is I use a lot of like monochromatic either colors or tones in my outfits for that purpose. And then cleanliness and hygiene, again, accessible to everybody, and you really should be like on this, right? So that means your oral hygiene, like your 3 steps, brushing your teeth, flossing, mouthwash, a skincare routine, toner, serum, well, cleansing, double cleansing, toner, serum, moisturizer, sunscreen, right? No sunscreen at night. Then like a body care routine, exfoliating, moisturizing, locking in that moisture. In the shower, you know, double cleansing as well, exfoliating your skin, using like a scented whatever, perfume, etc. You know, all of the things for you to just be super clean, and that your clothes are clean and that they're free from stains, things like that, and they smell good, and that you smell good. So cleanliness, hygiene, like that symmetry and flow, again, a very accessible part of maximizing your looks that is accessible and available to everyone. And then just as like a little bonus, we love jewelry. You can decide whether you like a more minimal style of jewelry, or you like big bold statement pieces, whether silver or gold works better for you. Having like, as a woman, you really should be wearing makeup in professional settings, even if it's like, it shouldn't be full glam or whatever, but you should be looking like you're wearing makeup. There was a study recently that demonstrated women earn 20 to 40% more who wear makeup in the workplace than those who don't, and they accounted for levels of attractiveness. So there's no difference in levels of attractiveness between the women who do and don't. And if you wear makeup, automatically you earn up to 40% more, right? And again, this comes down to, it looks like you are someone who values themselves because you put extra time and effort every single day into your appearance, right? And a lot of this is signaling, I care about myself, I value myself, I have time, I have leisure time to be able to invest into this, right? I value myself, and other people value you too based on that. So like wearing makeup, jewelry, having like a few good hairstyles that work really well for your face shape and the kind of hair that you have, good quality accessories of silhouettes and colors that suit you really well, and repeating that so you don't have to think about this all the time. Presence and your energy, and whether you can make eye contact with people. All of those things signal how much confidence you have, how much value you have, how much time and effort you put into you. And so these 3 core things, beauty as a sign of health, vitality, and well-being, posture, mannerisms, tone of voice, all of the non-verbal communication that signals I respect myself, I value myself, and therefore you should too. And then the third is that symmetry, cleanliness, hygiene, and flow. All of these things are very accessible to you, and when you think about maximizing yourself in all of these different categories, that is exactly how you are going to be someone who is conventionally attractive. And again, this is not about being a supermodel and like being the most beautiful like woman. Like, it's not about that. It's about being someone who looks like they take care of themselves and valuing themselves, and therefore you are valued by those around you in society. You're going to get access to spaces, to people, to opportunities, to rooms that you wouldn't get if you don't care about how you look and how you speak and how you present yourself. We judge each other and ourselves based on these things all the time, very often, immediately, and that's not something that's ever going to change. It is accessible to you to look amazing, to look the best that you can be, and I know it takes time, I know it takes effort, it takes energy, some of these things take money, but again, these pay in your life for your everything to do with beauty and your health. That is gonna pay for like how your body looks, how much energy you have, if you're disease free, and your longevity. Your presence and nonverbal communication is going to pay in any academic or professional or career setting. It's not a bad investment. It's such a good thing for you to do for yourself. You feel better about you, and it's going to improve every other aspect of your life. And I'm excited to see you starting to take care of yourself, because you absolutely deserve it. You deserve your best always. You deserve your best time, effort, and energy and investment, because you deserve to build your dream life and everything that you want for yourself. You deserve to make all of those things come true as best as you can. That is it for this video. Thank you for being here and for spending time with me again, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.